Hi folks, welcome back to Mercury Reliance. I was eating pizza today for lunch, and I've been thinking the last little while about how we can do a video on something that explains why it seems that everything keeps costing more and more and more every year. It just never seems, our income never seems to be able to keep up with the rising costs of everything, and fuel and clothing and everything. Bills keep rising. What's going on? So I put this little thing together here. It's called Why Stuff Keeps Costing You More and More. And I hope you find it fun to watch. So, the expanding dollar pie. We're going to use pizza, inspired from my lunch today, to help illustrate it. So, we're going to use... Damn phone. Now, where were we? Oh yes, pizza. So, we're going to use pizza as an analogy for the total money supply. Okay? So, if you have a slice of pizza, the value of your slice is relative to the size of the pizza. Okay? So, for instance, think dollars. Let's say that your slice of pizza is worth $1 because that piece of pizza is part of a whole. So your slice was, out of a pizza with 10 pieces, 1/10. Said another way, your dollar represents a portion of the existing money supply. That being the whole money supply. So what happens when the size of the pizza is increased to the size of the slice that you had in your hands? Yeah, it shrinks in relative terms. So the slice is still the same size, but now it's much smaller in relation to the whole. Money, it's like any other product or service. When the supply goes up, the value goes down. Demand goes down actually, but demand is just another word for value. So products and services are relative. So especially when you look at wholes. You know, the whole agricultural versus the whole dollar. It's they're relative to one another. But so we're going to say that a whole pizza, is worth a bushel of apples, say 10 apples. So one pizza is equal to 10 apples. So your slice was 1/10 of that pizza pie. So from that, you used to get 1 apple. But now you need 10 slices to get 1 apple. You follow? So that's kind of simply how it works. So who's the pizza man? This guy. Ben Bernanke, aka Helicopter Ben. They use this metaphor here that printing more money is kind of like throwing dollars out of a helicopter to the people down below. That's why they call him Helicopter Ben. He doesn't look too happy there, does he? So, by printing more money, what he's effectively doing is making a bigger pizza, but you're still holding that original piece. This becomes really dangerous when the entire world bases their currency on the US dollar, which in fact that's how it works. The US dollar is the world's Federal Reserve currency. Sorry, it's the world's reserve currency. So, when you print more money, the economic term is quantitative easing. Most of us probably know it more as stimulus spending. So when they print more money, the idea is to get it in circulation and get the economy moving. You know, things like construction, roads, bridges, streets, buildings. Of course, government programs. Look at healthcare. There's a variety of different government programs out there, from the guys who mow the parks all the way up to new officials sitting in high places. Wall Street. Got to send that back to Wall Street, at least a big chunk of it. So a couple economic terms you should become familiar with. Inflation, which is the devaluing of the currency through quantitative easing. Hyperinflation, which is when the devaluing happens very, very quickly. you saw our last video, you would see what happens when the devaluing happens quickly. You get some very large bills. Stagflation is where the currency value is constant, doesn't go up, doesn't go down, everything's relative and fairly constant and predictable. Deflation is actually where your dollar seems to buy more. The currency's value is actually increasing in relation to products and services. So, this is inflation. This is why it appears that prices are going up. This is why the cost of living keeps going up. This is why your dollars don't buy as much as they used to. This is why you shouldn't be investing in dollars. People who save money, you know, whether you tuck it in a box under your bed or whether you put it in a bank account, even for those of you that think bonds are secure, inflation is a silent tax. And that means that for every year you lose the value of the posted inflation rates. Probably higher because the posted inflation rate calculations are much different than they were just a few decades ago. So right now, conservative, we're around 2–2.5%. Okay? So that means for every, let's use $100. For every $100 you put away this year, next year it's worth $2.50 less. It will buy you $2.50 less in terms of goods and services. And if you look at a lot of the costs for groceries, for instance, they seem to be going up a lot higher than 2.5%. So yeah, for every $1,000, that's $25. You get the picture. It's just do the math. So this, here we go. Large banking and government institutions actually want inflation. They want that inflation to continue. So that means that they're actually promoting you being taxed without your knowledge. No wonder we stopped saving our money and became a nation of borrowers. We're getting hit hard. Yes, we should all be screaming. So, looked at another way, prices aren't going up. It's your dollars going down. You're able to buy less and less and less every year with the dollars that you have. To show you the value of precious metals, sort of my angle, in Roman times, 1 ounce of gold would buy you a full toga suit, sandals, I don't know what else they would wear, but it would buy you the full suit. And today, you can still buy a really nice suit with a pair of shoes and a leather belt and a tie for about 1 ounce of gold, which, by the way, is, as of today, over $1,300 an ounce. New record. House will always be worth roughly 200 ounces for the average house. I'm talking about mansions here, that's different. Personal transportation, whether it's a horse-drawn carriage, whether it's a car, about 30 ounces. It's been like that for decades. So we need to stop thinking in terms of dollars. It's not helping us. So what can we look at? What can we put our money into that's not dollars? Precious metals, my favorite, gold, silver, communications, telecommunications. Our society now has come to the point I don't think we'd be able to continue without being able to communicate with each other with the tools we have, cell phones, internet, all that. Internet's changed everything. Energy, real estate, natural resources, agriculture, you know, fish. All of these things here we'll always need. And they're relatively constant with each other. So I hope that helps illustrate a little bit, and welcome you to come on back, shoot us a line, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and I look forward to putting another one of these together for you. Bye now, thanks for watching.